We were considered inferior people. The mental health industry considered us sick. We were psychopathological. The church, every religious group considered us a sin. Every level of government, federal, state, local, considered us illegal. Here in Los Angeles, if two men touched each other, shake hands even, it was considered illegal. Gay people in 1969, including lesbians, were living in fear, a fear of our lives. That's the environment in which liberation houses of the Gay Community Service Center came into being. My name is Don Kilhefner. I'm 82 years old, and I have been working continuously in the gay community for the last 51 years. And on June 28th, 1969, the Stonewall Rebellion in New York City, in Greenwich Village.
Everyone exit the building now.
And at that moment, I knew that was about me. I got involved in the Gay Liberation Front here in Los Angeles, became its office manager and kept it running, found an office for us to work out of. In the spring of 1970, I organized something within the Gay Liberation Front, a committee called the Gay Survival Committee. Those words are important. And within the environment of what we were dealing with as gay people, we were really dealing with our survival. I would get calls from gay people. My landlord is threatening to kick me out. I need help. I am homeless. I need help. I'm not eating. I need help. I need help. I need help. That's what motivated me to organize the Gay Survival Committee. Mars Kite and I decided and headed another section that said, let's take the Gay Survival Committee and allow it to evolve into a community center. We were ready to open the Gay Community Services Center on Wilshire Boulevard, 1614 Wilshire Boulevard. Before the center opened on Wilshire Boulevard, we were already operating liberation houses. John Platonio found a house on North Edgemont Avenue in Hollywood. We soon lost, maybe by about 1972, we lost the Edgemont house. We found a space in Hollywood, or Van Ness Avenue, that became the Van Ness Liberation House.
My name is John Fish. I was a resident at the Van Ness Liberation House back in 1972. I grew up in a suburb of Louisville called Anchorage. That's where I lived when I realized I was gay. I moved away from home as a result of a fight that I had with my parents. I had been reading about various things going on in various parts of the country, and it was one of those papers had a story about the liberation houses and how they were helping gay people in Los Angeles. I got off the plane. I took a cab to Gay Center. I almost positive I took a bus from the center close to the Van Ness house. There was shown a room and there was a mattress that was assigned to me, and that's where I put all my stuff. For the first 2 weeks, it was rent-free, place to stay, and it provided a meal in the morning and a meal in the evening. We had, I think, 6 different liberation houses in 1972 when I moved there. It was a pretty vital thing. It was certainly a place that showed how people could get along and interact with one another and support one another. That's probably the most important thing that you get from living in a liberation house, is the ability of people to work together and support one another.
At 5 p.m., they were allowed to come back to the house. At 6 p.m., a dinner would be served. So it was teaching young people how to prepare food and serve it. From 7 to 8 p.m., everybody in the house would gather, and some nights the discussion was a consciousness raising group. How are we as gay and lesbian people oppressed? To understand the liberation houses, to understand gay people in the late 1960s, you have to understand the social environment in which gay people were operating. These kids were on the streets because they had nowhere else to go. There was no program for them. There was no alternative for them. Many of them left their homes, wherever they were, because of heterosupremacy, because of the attacks on them as gay people. Some of them were kicked out, and some of them were just lost youth. Didn't matter how they got on the street. We were interested in helping them. We needed to take care of people who had nothing. We had nothing to take care of each other with except ourselves. It's important to remember or to know that in 2021, 40% of homeless youth are LGBTQ. 40%. We represent probably around 10% of the population. And the LGBT Center in Los Angeles today has a very outstanding program of helping and housing these youth and getting them involved in stable housing or education or what have you. Imagine what it's like not having a roof over your head. Imagine what it's like going to bed sleeping on a concrete sidewalk somewhere where you don't even know whether you'll get through the night because it's so dangerous. So their housing involves physically taking care of our brothers and sisters, but more importantly is developing a consciousness of making a home for us in this world. And by a home, I mean someplace where we're welcome, where it's friendly, where we have support, and we're not seen as a problem. So housing also is connected to home, finding our way home.